Hello everybody and welcome to the Football Philosophy channel. And United are in the hat. I think that's the best thing we can say about the game against Watford. At least, the target is to get through. We've spoken numerous times about, we've lost 4 semi-finals in a row. We want to do even better. Ollie's desperate to win a trophy. I'm desperate for us to win a trophy. So the most important thing above all else was to get through. He fielded supposedly, it's a weakened team. But to me, when you put too many players in, it just spoils it. And the lads who actually get a chance, I'm thinking specifically of Donny van der Beek, who's been waiting for so long. And I thought he had a fine game, Donny van der Beek. His touch, his awareness, I thought he looked really cool, really aware of his surroundings. And he receives the ball and he knows which way he wants to turn. He looks a top quality footballer. And I don't think look, you've got to give him a game at some stage, but there's lots of players championing at the bit for the game, and Ollie feels as though he's got to give them all a game. He obviously didn't want to make it too weak. He wanted to get through, so it wasn't ridiculously weak, but there's still, for me, just too many changes to give the lads a chance who you think have got a chance of making a difference in the first team. Just for example, no disrespect to Jesse Lingard, he's been a fine servant for the club, but I think Jesse Lingard's had his day. Wouldn't Donny van der Beek been better if he was playing? I don't know whether Bruno would have started at number 10 and Donny van der Beek behind him. I think Donny van der Beek, because Donny van der Beek played in a slightly deeper role with McTominay, or could Matic have played next to McTominay, or even Fred or Pogba with Donny van der Beek in number 10. And at number 9, I've got to be honest, I'm not completely sold on Mason Greenwood. He took him off after about 70 minutes, and I thought, didn't make a massive difference, Anthony Martial, but at least he got hold of the ball, and it was literally one of those situations where we weren't under pressure, but they were having enough of the play and getting the odd free kick in fairly dangerous areas where they could put it into the box. And you just thought the game wasn't done and dusted at 1-0. It's as simple as that. We needed somebody. I know it sounds terrible, this, against a championship team at Old Trafford in the cup tie, but we needed a striker to get hold of the ball. And when you get hold of that ball, you often get fouled from behind. And I counted at least 3 times. I think it was 4 times that Anthony Martial got hold of the ball. He got fouled, and it allows you to get up the pitch, gives the defence a breather. And I said this to Flex on the fan cam after the game, and Flex was sort of saying it didn't make a great deal of difference, and I didn't think on my toes as I was speaking to him. It didn't appear to make a great deal of difference, but I can't stress how important these things are. We'll never actually know how much a difference it made. He's getting hold of the ball, he's winning free kicks, the defence are coming out, we're getting a breather, the whole team's moving up the pitch on at least 3 occasions. I've not rewatched it again yet, but I think on 4 occasions, and this just wasn't happening. Now, who's to say, if that change wasn't made, that on those occasions that he's getting hold of the ball, this is the idea. It's the whole idea of having a striker who understands the game, who's strong enough and confident enough to get hold of the ball. It's an important part of the game. So you can't imagine what might have happened if that didn't happen. It's easy to say, they wouldn't have scored. Teams do score, teams, even non-league teams sometimes score against Premier League opposition, never mind championship teams. What for the 6th in the championship? They're not absolute nobodies, and I know they made a few changes, but they might well have equalised if we didn't start getting hold of the ball up front. We need to get somebody up there who can get hold of it, and then we can get up there and join in the play, and also, as I've said, win a few free kicks to give us a bit of respite at the back. Not that they're defending dramatically difficult, it wasn't like all hands to the pumps, but it's just a little part of the game that just goes unnoticed and unappreciated, if you like. And Martial did make a difference. We'll never know how much difference, but he made a difference in that he was getting hold of the ball. I sent a tweet out early in the second half saying we need to get Martial on, we've got to get Greenwood off, and we've got to get someone on who can get hold of the ball. Lo and behold, Ollie did do that, and I thought it, as I keep saying, we'll never know how much difference, but I thought it made the difference. So we got through. That was the most important thing. As I say, Donny van der Beek played well. Dan James got a game on the left, started brightly, faded, made quite a few errors later on. I don't think he was getting tired. It's just one of those games. I think it applies to every player as well. Look, Greenwood didn't have a great game at number 9, and Jesse Lingard sort of played in a number 10 role. Didn't play very well, in my opinion. Did okay, but just nothing special. So, why are Watford getting so much of the play? You've got to ask that question. Why are we having to defend so much? Again, like I say, it wasn't all hands to the pumps, but they still had plenty of the ball, and we were doing more defending than we would like to have done, and we were doing less attacking than we would like to have done. And there's got to be reasons for that. And the reasons are that 2 or 3 or 4 of the players are either A, just not good enough anyway to keep the pressure on a championship team, or B, just not playing well enough. So you need to look at that and decide which ones it is, and that's the manager's job. The manager's got to look at that and go, that player's not playing well enough, or he's not good enough, and that player's not playing well enough, or he's not. And he did that with Mason Greenwood, by the way. Not playing well enough, he's coming off. Anthony Marshall went on. Dan James, he's not playing well enough, he came off, and Marcus Rashford went on. I'm not 100% convinced Marcus Rashford made any difference, by the way. He had one really good run where he had a shot, a little bit of a powder puff shot. The keeper saved it easily. But, I remember a crossfield pass that went straight to an opponent, never got off the floor. I remember him receiving the ball and trying to control it, and it bounced out of his reach and they took it off him. He got dispossessed too easily 2 or 3 times. And I seriously mean this. Dan James was terrible. I honestly don't think Marcus Rashford made any difference. He was no better. So the left wing wasn't good. Juan Mata played like Juan Mata does, some lovely, neat and tidy touches. He's obviously not got the pace of a Martial or a Rashford. Everybody seems to love pace. I love players who look after the ball better. I thought there was one move that involved Van der Beek and Juan Mata should have scored. All right, he didn't score. Good save by the keeper, but beautiful move. And there was two or three moves that didn't just quite come off. But some of the best football for me revolved around Juan Mata and Donny van der Beek. But there you go. We are through. In the other games. In the FA Cup, obviously the draw's on Monday night, by the way. So I'll have a look at the Premier League teams that we could draw and 1 or 2 of the other draws that we might fancy. Before I do start, I'd just like to talk about. I think it's a great credit to everybody involved in keeping football going. I think it's massively important to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people around the country, well, probably around the world. These games are beamed all over the world, but certainly all over the UK, the fans of the clubs and the fans of football, because people watch all sorts of games, not just their own clubs. And I think it's great credit to these clubs that they're keeping it going. They're working so hard. They're working so hard to keep their own bubbles so that they're not. And obviously, nobody's perfect. Some of them are getting it, and they're still getting games on. A couple of things that I want to mention this weekend. Derby County, fantastic. I think too many players down with COVID. People have then been in touch with those players who've had COVID. It was just too difficult, too awkward for them really to send the first team squad, and for them to send a complete youth team, even with the youth team manager, to play at Chorley Town was fantastic, I think, and I'm well done, Derby County. Chorley managed to beat Derby County's youth team 2-0. Chorley are from the National League, which is level 6 of the football pyramid. The National League North is you've got your Premier League, you've got your Championship, you've got your what they call your First Division and your Second Division. That's your league clubs. In my day, it was when I was a young man, that was leagues 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then you've got the next league, the conference outside of the 4 divisions. Then you've got the National League. So the National League is the 6th level. So Chorley are from the National League North. You've got your Premier League, you've got your Championship, First Division, Second Division. In my day, that was divisions 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then just outside the league, you've got the National League, but then you've got the National League North and South. So it's split at level 6. It splits into 2. So there's over 40 teams
in level 6. So it's a bit like level, to me it's like being in level 6.5. It's not automatically level 6. If it didn't split into north and south, and those teams were amalgamated in 2 leagues, they might be in tier 7 rather than tier 6. I'm just trying to explain, how far down the pyramid Chorley are. They're in the National League North, and there is a National League South, and they both qualify as the 6th level. So, look, you'll never know. That's the beauty of FA Cup football. But there's a great chance that Derby County, with a full-strength team, or even close to a full-strength team, would probably, you can't say for certain, but would probably go to Chorley and win. So it's great credit to Derby that they've sent a youth team there, and I'm sure Chorley, it'll just be in the records book forever and a day that Chorley have beaten Derby County. They must be absolutely over the moon, and what it would have been like for fans to be there, you just can't imagine. A fantastic day for Chorley. They're not concerned that they've had to play down. I'm sure they'd be absolutely over the moon just getting through against Derby County, whatever team Derby County had to put out. And I say well done to Derby County. Likewise with Aston Villa the night before. We already know that Liverpool beat Villa 4-1 the night before. Again, quite a few positive tests in the Villa camp. They played an entire youth team against Liverpool, a team made up of under 18s and under 23s, and Liverpool beat them 4-1. Well done to Aston Villa. And I'd also like to give a big shout out to Oldham Athletic as well. Oldham played away to Bournemouth. When I say they played away to Bournemouth, they were drawn at home to Bournemouth. And this is not to do with COVID. But Oldham Athletic, being from where they are, quite high up in Oldham, north of Manchester, really freezing weather up there, and the pitch is frozen at Boundary Park. But they offered to play the game at Bournemouth, and Bournemouth accepted. Obviously quite pleased to accept it, and the game was played at Bournemouth. I think it still goes down. I think if you look at any apps or anywhere where you can read the result, it still reads Oldham Athletic 1, Bournemouth 4, as if it was played, it was Oldham's home game, but it was played at Bournemouth. And I say well done to Oldham as well for making sure that game went ahead. We literally cannot afford to be losing games. There's not enough time to fit all the games in. There's Premier League games and obviously games from the other leagues, and if the FA Cup starts falling behind, so all these teams that are doing their absolute utmost to get the games on, I give them a big thumbs up and I say well done, and keep it going. Elsewhere in the FA Cup, Big Sam's having a rough time of it at West Brom. West Brom drew 2-2 at Blackpool. Blackpool haven't knocked a top level team out for 45 years, I heard him say on the TV. And they drew 2-2 and Blackpool beat them on penalties. And I saw the penalty shootout, and there was a few weak penalties by the West Brom players. I think Big Sam needs to get them in there training on taking a few penalties and putting the boot through it, I think. But Blackpool knocks them out. I've mentioned this before, but it's staggering really they've got rid of one manager, they've brought Big Sam in, they've got beat 3-0, 4-0 and 5-0, and now they've got knocked out of the FA Cup by a team from the 3rd tier, and West Brom had a fairly strong team out as well, so it's not going well for Big Sam. And I've said this before, staggering that they actually took a point at Anfield in between all that, so well done for doing that. But everything else, they've had 4 disasters out of 5. Other Premier League teams, Everton beat Rotherham after extra time. Rotherham are near the bottom of the Championship, and they took Everton to extra time. Sheffield United had a win. They were away to Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers are in the 3rd tier. Sheffield United won 3-2. Sheffield United, I think it's the first win in months. I can't remember how long, but it's the first win in months because they're going terribly poorly. They haven't had a win yet in the Premier League. So that's the first win that they've had for a long time. Will that, perhaps, this can happen, it really can. Will that give them a boost? Will they maybe be able to turn the form around in the Premier League? You never know, perhaps. We'll see how that goes for them. But Sheffield United are through. Burnley played MK Dons. That went to extra time and penalties, finished 1-1. Burnley only equalised in injury time and took it to extra time and won on penalties. So Burnley are through. But Burnley are our next opponents for United. We play Burnley on Tuesday night. So you never know. We could draw them in the FA Cup as well. And then Fulham. Fulham beat QPR 2-0. Scott Parker really seems to be turning them around. Fulham. They've not lost in 5 now. Now draws can be hard to come by when you're at the bottom of the league. I think they've drawn 4 in a row in the league, and now they've beaten QPR in the cup. Of those, so they've gone 5 undefeated. One of them was against Liverpool, by the way, and the next game is on Friday night against Chelsea in the league. So well done, Scott Parker. He really seems to have them organised, Fulham, and they seem like a solid unit, and they're through to the next round. Leicester City won 4-0 at Stoke, and in an all-Premier League tie, Arsenal beat Newcastle 2-0 after extra time. Smith Rowe scored the first goal. I looked at him last week and I mentioned him. He looks a fine player. I had a quick look at him last week when they played West Brom, I think it was, and he took the goal really well. I didn't see much of the game, but I did see that Smith Rowe was given a red card in the game, and the referee rescinded that red card on the advice of VAR. He went and looked at the screen. So Smith Rowe might well have been off the field, but it got rescinded and he ended up scoring the first goal, and Arsenal ran out 2-0 winners. The draw is on Monday around 7 o'clock. Yes, tomorrow night about 7 o'clock the draw. So they draw in 2 rounds of that. They're drawing in 2 rounds at once, which is unusual in the FA Cup. Obviously they want to try and get things organised as quickly as they can. Every little bit of time helps, so they're going to draw who you've got in the next round, and then obviously if you get through, either or which team you'll be playing in the round after that. So United, of the big 6, United, Liverpool and Arsenal are already through. I think Chelsea, City and Spurs will all get through today. At 1:30 today, you've got Chelsea versus Morecambe. That's on BBC iPlayer at 1:30. You've also got Manchester City versus Birmingham City on the iPlayer at 1:30. And then at 5 o'clock this afternoon, there is Marine versus Spurs. That's on BBC One at 5 o'clock. Marine are from the Northern Premier League, which is even below the National League North that we were speaking about earlier. So I think I'm pretty certain, well, it must be. Marine must be the lowest level team that are left in it. I can't see Spurs having any trouble whatsoever there. I hope Marine, I'm sure they'd take it if it was offered now. I hope Marine can hold, if Spurs field a strong team, of course, you never know for certain, dear. But if Spurs field a strong team, I'm sure if you offered the Marine manager a 2-0 defeat now, he'd probably take it. What they don't want to do is end up getting beat 6 or 7. But Marine, from, as I say, from the Northern Premier League versus Spurs, can you imagine that little town if fans were allowed into this game, if things were normal? It really is a staggering situation that we're in, and it's a disaster really for these little clubs getting these draws that they dream of for years, and they get the draw in this particular year. They get this far in the cup even to be able to get that draw. Probably Marine don't even get to the 3rd round that often, and then they draw Spurs and nobody can go to the game. It's an absolute disaster, it really is. But I wish them all the best. I hope they have a great day and good luck to them. One other game to mention, worth mentioning. There's another I was going to say possible giant killing. Again, I can't see it. But Crawley Town play Leeds. That's on BBC One at 1 o'clock. So I do expect, sorry, at 1:30. 1:30 Crawley v Leeds on BBC One. So United, Liverpool and Arsenal are through. I would bet me bottom dollar that Chelsea, City and Spurs are getting through. Hopefully we can draw Crawley Town, and let's hope City can draw Liverpool and Spurs can draw Arsenal, and they can start knocking each other out to improve our chances of getting to a final this time rather than a semi-final. If you've enjoyed that show, please subscribe, please tell all your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, keep stum, don't tell anyone.